Welcome, Lounge Lizards, to another episode of Legions Lounge, episode 77, where we talk about all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figura Obscura Customs, and other mythical-related action figures and stuff. I'm tired. Holy shit, we're back.
Whatever for.
I wasn't supposed to swear in the first 10 minutes of this, but fuck it. We're back. It's been a long time. We're your hosts. My name is Trevor, 16shooter on Instagram. My co-host currently is Nate Strong at Corona4. Bill, hopefully, will be along soon. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a month.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like a long time. I mean, it went by quick, like time does, but at the same time, it feels like it's been a minute, man.
I know. It's been a busy month. So, I mean, which is kind of the reason that it kind of happened this way. It just, there was so much going on between SDCC and going to IshCon and trying to get this Oxkrewe stuff done and a couple other things for other clients, among other things, and just trying not to be in my basement 12 hours a day. So I figured July, people are on vacation, there wasn't a ton going on. We did miss some news, but we'll catch up on it. Just figured it would be the time to just kind of take a little break and walk away. It's always good to just get your head straight too, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of this stuff is just, it's time consuming. I mean, people, you don't understand how much this is fun. I mean, it's like getting together with your friends, obviously, every week, but it is, there is a little preparation to it, and just gearing up sometimes to do it after you're tired or whatever.
It's always good to take a break, leave people wanting more, right?
Absolutely. All right, we'll dispense with the hit the like button, please. That helps us. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell down there so you know that when our shows are coming on, because they'll be more regular now. But some of the other stuff is all over the place. Toy Photo Bomb has been kind of delayed because of weather on the part of my guest. But so we'll see. As always, super chats are appreciated, as we have some already. So I will let you, Nate, get into who's in the chat, and we'll get to those super chats.
Who do we got in the chat?
Our guest.
Let's see, up to the top, the Freak Official. That looks like a new name. I don't know that name.
I don't know the Freak Official. Welcome,
the Freak. Alex, Low Stack, Just Shelve. What's up, Jesse? Rob Zamora.
Rob.
Shout out to Rob, man. If you haven't seen it, he just got a killer custom from Emo today.
Saw that. Yeah.
That thing is freaking amazing, as they all are, but I don't know, man. That Court of the Dead thing, he totally crushed it. The Collecting Brothers, Blake. And who reminds us, 96 days until Legions Con. I can't believe that.
God.
Like, that's 3 months.
Great.
It's
wonderful and also like scary at the same time.
Yeah. Dave Orkin, what's up, Dave? I am sporting Dave's new shirt.
Nice.
And I hate to call him out live like this, but Dave, my shirt's broken. When it gets to about here, it kind of bulges out. So I don't know if I can get a new shirt from you. Stuff Fork, what's up? JMax77. Cullen's with us. Ish. Huge congrats, Ish. On we'll get into it, but sounded like an awesome con. Curtis Ackerman, Josh Brown, Jurassic, Jesse, what's up? Mark R. V-Dog, Thomas Belay, Carver Customs, Brian, Stacy Lynn, both of them are here. I am TJ Williams, Mecca Rekka, Kevin McCoy, MOTU Guru. Let's see, Michael Carter, William Golden, Dan, what's up, Dan? Michael Woods, Uninformed Bayesian. Eric LeBron, Christopher Collier, Legendary Collector 1321, Heinrich Hoffman, Joe Gonzalez, what's up, Joe? Broder, Eric LeBron, Rick Emmert, Kevin M. Boots, holy smokes, we'll come back to that, Kevin. Joe Gonzalez, Josh Brown, Kent Poole, what's up, Kent? Fortis Maximus, Lee Birdwell, Brick Something, Alec McLaughlin, David Smith, almost there, folks. Juan Diego, Gideon Lover, Kirby, and Babylon Squared. And I'm going to jump back up to Kevin Maboots with a big old super
Dang,
chat.
brother. He's just
Originally, it was
making
going
up
to
for the
be,
weeks we were off. I
right? Yeah.
guess.
The revenge of Legion's Lounge until they realized that this was not the way of the lounge lizards. So get your drinks, hit that like button, and enjoy the show,
Yes.
folks.
Right.
It's awesome.
That's right. Just the return.
Thank you,
Revenge is not
Kevin.
in our vocabulary.
And Joe Gonzalez, welcome back, fellas. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joe.
He is a game and dungeon master.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
the
getting back
most.
to that too. Yep.
Me too. And Rob says, welcome back, my homies. It has been way too long. Yes, it has,
Rob. Thanks, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
all.
it.
Great crowd so far. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thanks for sticking with us on our break.
I'm gonna bring our guest out right now before we get started because I want to, we'll talk about news. He was at IshCon in a big way. So he is artist, customizer, artist in several different ways. Just a talented dude all around, and one of the nicest people in this community, I would say, and I think many people would say, and many people did say yesterday.
100%.
Loved hanging out with him, and was just so happy for him this weekend. And I know everybody knows about it already, but I'm just going to bury the lead for a second and bring him out here. It's David Williams.
David.
What's
Hi,
up, buddy?
everybody.
Good to
How's
see
it
you
going
again.
on?
Thanks for having me.
I love you got a tat on the palm of your hand too, so when you wave, we can even see that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Did that hurt?
It was awful. Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah, I've seen people with the back of the hand. I think the back of the hand I've heard really hurts, and knuckles and things like that. Anything close to the bone is like a nightmare.
Yeah, the entire hand hurts.
Yeah. So you got back safely, which is great. If not in complete style, but
yeah, I
we
think
both
that
got
was,
back.
Yeah, I think that was for everybody. Everybody had some hiccups, and
Yep.
I'm just happy to be home. It was later. I got home later than I wanted, obviously, but I'm here, and that's all right.
There you go.
As long as y'all made it back safely, that's
Yeah.
when it comes down to it. That's the main thing. But yeah, it sounds like a major pain in the ass for everyone. But
yeah, but it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. It was Friday night was a lot of fun. I mean, Friday night was basically a, shopping night.
VIP
for
night?
Everybody VIP night was basically shopping night for everybody. I wasn't sure how that was going to go down, but everybody kind of broke down and like, yeah, all right, let's just sell some stuff. Which,
Nice.
I think there were some people streaming in the next day from, the general community. Because it was pretty well populated, but I think a lot of people were there for, I would say, wouldn't you say, David? Many people were there for the Mythics things.
Yeah,
there was a lot of Mythic stuff.
Was there anything left on Saturday?
Oh yeah, tons.
Yeah.
It was cool because like at Legions Con, everybody's pretty stressed out. Like even at least the vendors and even the studio is still trying to get everything together. And I think that them coming in a day early really helped with them just being able to set up, and then all the community that showed up it's just all the best people. So we all just got to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was chill. That's true. It was chill. I mean, there were people vending there, but it wasn't the pressure, like you said, of a Legions Con or anything like that. Multiple days. I mean, it was 2 days, but VIP night was basically like hanging out with your friends and putting your stuff on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was
That's what
chill.
Curtis always talks about, like Mesquite Con or any of these other smaller cons. It's nice to sort of have that flavor too. It's a little more intimate. It's not as crazy. You get to spend a little more quality time maybe with some people. So that's good to hear. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's not as many people there because, like, I know at Legions Con, like, I miss people. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out. I go to dinner with somebody.
Impossible to see everybody.
Yeah, you can't. So it was great to be able to kind of get to talk to just about everybody there.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. All these little mini, there's, everybody's calling them mini Legions Cons, and there's like a mini Legions Con like every 3 or 4 months now. You know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form. Which is amazing because it just means the community is growing, and like you go to New Jersey Toy Con and there's kind of a Mythic Legions meet up there too. So
it's a cool group of people.
Yeah, it is a cool group of people. Yeah,
the coolest.
I think.
Right. I tried to get something to go on at STCC. I did meet a couple people, but trying to organize something around that chaos to get everybody into one place at one time is a lot of work. And I was just like, you know what? I just kind of want to enjoy myself and not worry about being at a certain place at a certain time and making sure that other people know about it and yada, yada, yada. So
Yeah.
we'll have Legions Con. We'll get there.
I just realized between the two of you, I'm wearing the same shirt as Nate and the same hat as you.
You've
That's
bridged
hilarious.
the gap, literally bridged the gap between the two of us right here.
I love it.
Yes, let's talk about some spoils we got from IshCon if you want to, Dave. I mean, you know, who had a better con than you did? But just in terms of picking up stuff, I got the new Schmerman burger, new to Mythics. Isn't that great? I love this illustration. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Love it. That's fantastic. I haven't
And
seen
new to
that yet.
Mythics,
That's great.
good show, man. Like, check it out, man. It's fun. Like, he talks to people who are actually new to Mythics and people who have gotten into it and kind of going back into how they got into it. And there's some educational stuff about bodies. And, you know, Greg just approaches it like, you know, with like wide eyes. And, you know what I mean? He's just like, he's just such a fan. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I got to make a point to check it out.
Yeah, I actually did an episode of that show a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
And so he pre-records. So whenever my episode airs, it will be prior to the reveal. So there was just a lot of conversation where I had to play it cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you got a little taste of that. What was that like? Like, you were telling
it's-
me a little bit about it, but like, tell everybody.
I wouldn't say it's awful because it's nice to have like this exciting thing that you know that people are going to receive well, but it's hard when that conversation comes up. That character, that custom gets brought up a lot.
Yeah.
Which still just blows my mind, but it gets brought up a lot, and I have to just play along and say, yeah, it was a fun one to make, and I'm proud of it.
Sure was. Do you think they'll make it? Sure was fun.
You know, the best diversion I was able to come up with is that there wasn't a PowerCon this year.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's
so
good.
I was
Yeah.
I was like, well, there's no way they're going to do it at a North Carolina convention, but an actual PowerCon, that could be when it happens.
See, now you know what it's like to go through that, like to come up with something to talk about. You know what I mean? Like when or a reason to play it off and not know what, act like you don't know what's going on. But in your case, I mean, in terms of keeping it quiet, like I have to keep it quiet, but I'm not personally invested except for the photos in the figures. This is something like, deeply personal to you and like a great, honor. So it was just like, that's even harder. You just want to tell people, you know what I mean? I don't want to tell people. I can't wait till they see it, but you kind of want to tell people. So well done in keeping me quiet.
And
well done on that front. And massive congrats, David. Couldn't happen to a better person. And super thrilled for you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, not those photos. That was the first time I saw those. So that was.
I almost spilled that because I wasn't sure if he was sharing that stuff with you. But knowing Jeremy, I'm like, he probably is saving, at least some of the pics and stuff and the actual picture of. Did he show you what it looked like at all? Did you get any kind of?
No,
okay.
That was all.
That's what I figured. Yeah. I don't do anything without any kind of prior approval anyway. So I wasn't even, I think I was pretty sure. I think somebody had told me along the way that you knew, but then we were talking. I knew you knew because you were, you knew I knew and you were hinting at something. So I was like, okay, he's in it.
I was telling the Euro guys that, that I'm not a super emotional person. It's actually kind of a fault of mine. Mm-hmm. I get in trouble a lot for just not being super attached. So to cry is that's like next level caring. But man, that first photo, I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen. It's going to happen in front of everybody. I mean, I haven't cried in years. So it's everything's just going to come out all at once, but I have it together.
Gosh.
I think I did all right.
I know it wasn't entirely the picture, but I'll take it and say that I moved people to tears with my imagery.
No, it was a glorious first shot, and the way that everybody reacted, it was just really sweet. It was just such a special moment, Yeah.
Yeah, it was the biggest moment in the whole way. I mean, people were I think were generally happy with the wave, and many people thrilled
yeah.
with the wave. But in terms of the audience, like that was of course like the biggest. It was great. It was such a good moment.
Cool.
Really,
it was very
really cool.
That's excellent. I haven't
Yep.
seen pictures necessarily of your custom that you made and the one that they made side by side, but I know the heads are a little different. Is there any other differences?
There's a couple of differences. I think that the differences that they made, or the changes that they made, were pretty smart. The one that I made had flesh-colored gauntlets to match like the He-Man toys with the spiked arms.
Right.
But you consider, like, say the pop and swap contest, like nobody has any use for a flesh-colored gauntlet with a gold bracelet, you know?
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense in a reuse,
Sure.
you know, or pop and swap situation. And then I think the liberties they took with the head look really nice. Like in person, it's really cool looking. Like the more yellow, less brown.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the brown shades and stuff that you put around it, though.
I do
It
too.
is nice, but I think it's a little more in. Well, yours is. I don't know. I'm not an expert on buzz off, but I think you kind of went direct to source, and I know that they have to play it a little safe too with that stuff too. They can't go too directly at it, and
mine was a lot more on the nose.
Right.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Around
that's up. It's up in the Cabal somewhere, and I was going to. I don't know if Bill's coming on or not, but I guess Bill's let this out of the bag, so I don't have to. I think we could say it, but so. Oh, here he is.
Speaking of, perfect timing.
Say it to his face.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Bill. Oh.
Good. Levels check. Testing. 1, 2. Buddy get it.
There we are.
There we go.
My headphones were connected to my phone instead of my computer there for a second.
Gotcha.
Turn the Bluetooth off.
How you doing, man?
All right. Now the
Good.
gang's
What's up,
back.
guys.
The band's back.
Band's back
So-
together.
We were just talking about Dave, and of course the Anthrophiles. I still have to look this up. It's almost
Anthrophilius.
Is it Phileas? Because it's where
That's
there's
how
no
Jeremy.
U in there.
That's how Jeremy pronounced it.
Okay. Well, all right. And talking about comparing the original to the one that Four Horsemen did, probably again like skirting around some of the being too like on the nose, just for whatever reasons. But everybody was saying, "Wow, Bill's got that original now, and what a cool thing!" And you did probably the coolest thing, I think, that could be done. And you've sent that back to David now so that he can have
It's on its way.
the original.
Hopefully there's no hiccups in the mail. But
which is just
I dropped
a
it
really
off this
awesome thing
morning.
to do, man. That was fantastic.
That was a
very, very
super cool
well done.
gesture, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
It's
as
like-
cool as it is to have it,
It seemed like not even a choice. Like it's just like it's got to be with David. Like it's got to be with you, man. It's got to be.
When you sent that message, he sent a picture that said he's on his way home, and I was like, I just assumed that meant that Bill sent it to the studio for reference, and they were sending him back to Bill. So I didn't quite get it, and then he was like, "No, I think that you should be the one that has it." And I was like, I mean, I am very excited about that. Like it's just, it was a cool thing for me, and then turned into such a special item.
Yeah.
But I definitely owe you 1 or 10. So
Don't worry about it.
so
sure.
the next Dork Lair shirts are on me.
Okay. The first one was on you too, so
That's true. I don't mind.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, it is one thing to like when it's like one-off custom and you're selling it, but now it's kind of a piece of your history.
changed. Yeah, it changed.
You know
at
what I
that
mean?
point,
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm hanging on. If I kept it, I'd feel like I'm hanging on to this thing that doesn't really belong to me at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can do like joint custody. Like I can send it back in a couple months.
Well, you could take one of the new ones and just paint it up the same way, and then you'll be you'll be
or
close.
I'll send it back for the review comparison.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
That's a cool
cool,
idea.
man. Actually, yeah, that'd be cool for sure.
We'll just keep it in circulation.
Probably easier just to paint up a couple heads now to match it than a whole entire custom.
Right.
You know what's
Babylon
funny?
Squared was asking, David, how long did you know about it? How long did you have to keep that a secret?
I think 5 months, 6 months.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my God! Wow, really?
Yeah, it was a while.
Man, that makes
it was
that much more impressive.
my concept of time is
Yeah.
ridiculous. So it could have been like 3 weeks, but no, it was a handful of months.
So Jeremy, was telling the story, and I want to come back to you, Bill, because you were going to say something funny, which I want to hear. Something about how, like, when you first did it, he contacted you, and what was that about? Was that like, hey, this is probably something we're going to want to do down the line, or did that not come up?
Yeah, in a few messages, he initially wrote me to
I'm going to bring this
tell
up
me,
so people who don't know what the hell we're talking about, in case they're new to the show.
He initially wrote me to tell me he loved the custom and that the studio, like, it was kind of traveling through the studio. Everybody was, did you see this? Did you see this?
Right.
And then, a few messages later, I imagine, after having conversation with the studio, he said that, down the road, we're probably going to have to approach you about doing this. And I responded with whatever you want, like you can have it. That's the coolest thing ever,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. How do you feel about this head?
I feel like when we got the Valiant Knight, that would have been the answer to me using that head, because that was initially what I wanted to use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the Spexian head doesn't work on a 1.0 neck peg.
Right.
On a dwarf either. Like, it doesn't sit right, and I didn't want the buzz off to have the bug neck.
Right.
So, and the only reason I know that is I was sitting behind it at the reveal, and I saw that it's the jointed neck peg.
Yes. Yep.
So, I mean, it's awesome. I love that Buzz Off came with a helmet in the first place, like the original Buzz Off. I always thought it was cool that he had like a flight helmet. So for them to include that just makes it that much cooler.
Yeah, I feel it's just like it's basically a helmet for this head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just putting this on, and it's kind of decor, like these.
Yeah, for sure.
The antennae and the mandibles are just basically part of the helmet or whatever. So
Right.
Yeah. I love it. I seriously, like, if I didn't create or help create or whatever this figure, I love this the way that they put it together with, like, the extra halberd thing and the helmet and everything. It's so fun. Again, and it's my affinity for Masters of the Universe weighs a lot on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I love the Masters of the Universe.
Nice.
Good shot. Awesome shot right here.
Thank you.
Thanks. So cool.
Yeah, and Bill did a great rundown. We're going to go over all the figures, but Bill did a great rundown. And Bill, thank you. You said some nice things about the photos, so I appreciate that. But go check that out as well, because he breaks it down, really well and talks about some of the details. We're gonna go over it, but we're not gonna I think more just opinions of how we feel about each one of the figures and stuff. So
what I was gonna say earlier was, it took me a little while to realize we were live. Like, you noticed how, like, when I got on, it was like this, and like I would have pre-prepped. Like, I didn't realize we were live. I don't know. For some reason, I thought we were starting at 8:30. And so for the first couple, I didn't say anything weird.
You're forgiven because it's been a month. So
yeah.
Well, you didn't say anything bad.
Yeah.
So
no.
Insult someone? No. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh man, is Curtis here?
We'd say that live. We wouldn't say that behind. Another quick super chat from Rob. He's saying, "Four Horsemen, dear David, how dare you one up us?"
Not even close, man.
So yeah, it's got a whole bio, which is great. Nods to you and
like I said, that's about when I was like, I think I'm gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
steady
really
hand, calm demeanor, and warm personality that is rare amongst his species. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Just awesome, man.
Makes it
and there
that
it
much
is,
more personal.
Right there, memorialized forever. Designed and based off custom creation by David Williams. That's awesome. So awesome, man.
Yeah, it's just so cool. Like, they didn't need to do all that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They could have made this character a very specific or whatever. But for them to include not only like my hometown and my name, my actual name,
right,
and then just these little quirks that, you know, is the way that Jeremy sees me or anything like that. And then on top of that, to put my name on, you know, to credit me at the very end was like, it's, again, not something they had to do, but something that was like, sets them apart from everybody else.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like any other company, I mean, you know, they're small, they're nimble, they're personable, they're or personal. Any other company would be like, if somebody did this, they'd have to avoid this at all costs. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because if it was Hasbro, you know, they're not just going to go and give you a call and say, "Hey, could we do this? You okay with us doing this?" They'd either just do it and screw you, or or they would stay away from it in fear that you would sue them or something. I don't know. I'm sure they have lawyers against that, but you know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't, basically, bottom line, it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't happen. And it's amazing that, it's just a testament to what they do, you know what I mean? And why this, you know, and not everybody sees all this stuff on the outside, I think, but I think the more and more you're involved with this community and you see this kind of stuff, you just like, it warms your heart, man. It's just a different type of thing. So,
yeah. And this, I think, is such a unique tribute too, because it's not only did they talk about you personally here, you know, the person that you are, but that it's based off something you made. Like, I think that's a first in the tributes, right? That's fantastic, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I hope, you know, I hope it doesn't, I mean, listen, if it inspires people to do stuff, I hope, you know, people aren't expecting that every time they do a custom that this is going to happen necessarily. It may just be a kind of a, you know, a one-time thing, a fluke thing, but I mean, you know, other people have had unofficial and official tribute figures and things like that. So, I mean, that's the way I look at this. It's got that extra step that you got to design it, which is really cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, just the whole thing is just incredibly special to experience. You know.
Again, just super happy for you. And this comes on top of, I don't know if we want to segue yet, but what else you're doing with the studio? I mean,
yeah, that's what I was just going to jump onto. Hang on a second. Let me jump over to this.
So it's thrill on top of thrill, man.
Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Boom. So we've been used to getting the pins for Legions Con every year. Based on the tribute figures that come out at Legions Con, and normally those are done by Nate Barch in what little time he has in between doing everything else that he does, packaging and everything. So they smartly, after seeing a lot of your work, said, "Hey, maybe," at least I'm paraphrasing this, but you can tell us the details. Said, "Hey, maybe we could get David to do these and free Nate of some extra time and get these packaging done. All the stuff that he's got a lot on his plate. I know he does.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about how this came about. And I mean, these look incredible.
They're awesome.
It was exactly that. Jeremy approached me. Jeremy approached me about the. That sounded weird.
I know.
Two me's right after each other. About this and saying just that the studio in general has a lot on their plate right now, and that's super exciting. You know, if you read into it, that they're so busy, that they were like, can you do us a favor, which is so cool just to be considered for that. But but it was just that. I know that Nate has got his hands full with a bunch of crazy stuff. So, you know, with the pins, it was just, I mean, it was a no-brainer. Like, of course, I love these characters and I love drawing this stuff in the first place. So we went through a couple of iterations of the pins and the designs, but it was fun the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like the end result, I'm happy with the end result, but even happier that I just, like, I was asked to do it more so than just like, I would draw these guys anyway, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm sure it's like you know, there's a learning. This is different from just drawing. Like you've done a lot of drawings that you've had at Legions Con. I own a Ziri. I know at least that. That's up on the shelf there. But I mean, it's a different thing when you're doing this for, you know, like you have to draw this so that the pin can be made and can be, you know, built off of this basically, because it's got a 3D element to it. So I'm sure that's a learning experience, but now that you've been through that, you know, I'm thinking this is probably going to be a little more straightforward for you every time, for the most part. I mean, there's always some color considerations and things like that that you go back and forth with, but yeah,
absolutely. This was a huge learning experience with me, for me. I had to keep my confidence during the conversation initially, but I'm not typically a digital artist, you know. I do digital art for work, but I rarely, the end result ends up on a person's skin,
right?
You know, so there's a certain approach to that you can apply to tattooing, but this was, you know, for a pin, and there are technicalities to it, but on top of that is, like the figures that we have and everything else that we get from the Horsemen, is there are really no half measures to the things that they release. So it's like, you know, there was a couple of different versions of these that were, you know, change this, change that, let's start over. And again, none of it was a hassle, but you really realize who you're working with when you do something like this. You know, this company that's like, I mean, they push you to your best efforts because they don't put out crappy stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean, how cool is it to collaborate with the studio and Eric, like someone who we hold up on the highest of pedestals, and to be getting, like you said, you were talking before the show started, emails back and forth and chatting with them about art and this process. I mean, what was that like?
It's so bizarre because of the connection I have to these toys. Like, I love Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, all that stuff, but my first real obsession with action figures, besides just having them and playing with them as kids, was the original all the way up to the end of the Spawn line. So I've been into and aware of the Four Horsemen ever since Toy Fair mentioned who they were. And understanding that they were involved with, like, the, you know, the original NECA turtles and all that stuff. I knew all of that. I was telling Jeremy at the show, the reason I never collected Masters of the Universe classics was because that was the most broke I ever was in my life, was when that was coming out. And I just couldn't afford to buy them. But I did, you know, save up all my pennies, and I got all of the Thundercats as Matty Collector were putting them out, because that was just something I couldn't pass up either. But you know, leading up to that now, like, Eric Treadaway knows who I am, you know?
Not only
I think he knew who you were beforehand. Let's just, you know, let's put it that way.
But it's just so bizarre.
The difference is, like, you know, it's not just knowing a passing hello in the hallway. It's we've collaborated, we've worked together, you know. That's a whole nother level, man.
It's really hard to describe how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
I mean, to be excited or happy is an understatement, you know?
Yeah. Now you're part of it now. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, those are things that get me out of ruts. I'm like, oh man, I got a dead battery, but I'm like, my life rules, you know?
Yeah. Helps
Exactly.
put things in perspective, right?
It really does. It really helps quite a bit.
This
So-
one looks like it would have been the most difficult with these horns. This had to be like some back and forth, or no? Was this fairly straightforward?
No, this one. So the back and forth we had mostly was in the initial concept.
Okay.
We had a couple of different ideas, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say, so I'm just not going to talk about too much.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
But this one in particular, this is the last one I submitted, and it was done for quite some time. And I would close it, I would draw on it, I would close my iPad, I would open it, and then I would email it to myself and look at it on my phone, and because it was the most complicated of the group. But it was the one that I went back to the most and was finished with the longest before I gave it to Jeremy to submit, because there was a lot to it that I was concerned that I either did, wasn't doing quite right, or I don't know. It's again, he was the last one I worked on, but it was because of my experience with the rest of them that it's kind of a process. And by the end of this guy, I felt like, okay, I think I understand how to do this,
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah,
even
this
then,
is, I mean, just even the construction of a pin on this one is tricky. When I saw it, I was like, wow, that's going to be, that's going to be tricky. It's going to be
a cool one.
A little bit of delicate piece, but it's going to be cool as hell, man.
I actually got to, again, surreal moment to have a conversation on the phone with Nate about doing these. And we talked about how his experience was working on the pins, where Krampus was his first, and at the time Marley was his last, and he was the most happy with Marley and the Monkey King. And if you really sit and really inspect those two pins versus like Krampus, then you see that he went really hard on Krampus, and there's a ton of detail, and it only while it's an amazing pin, there are things that he would have changed about it or whatever.
Interesting.
Just because of the restrictions involved.
Yeah.
But as we got pins, they're just, there's an aesthetic to them.
Yes, there is now.
That,
for sure. Yeah. It's
and,
definitely
so David,
developed. You're right. Like since Krampus, it's definitely, there's a feel to all of them, and they all have the same sort of feel. And you nailed it. I mean, this works perfectly hand in hand. I mean, with those things, it isn't skipping a beat at all. So it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I was going to ask real quick. So you did with Pete and Stephen Bisciotti, you tattooed the Furious 4 logo. Has George and Chris approached you this Legions Con to be doing these pins on them?
Not yet, but I think the plan is to not bring tattoo equipment so I can hang out with you guys.
David's not doing tattoos. There will be no tattoos.
There you go.
Legions Con.
We're just gonna
maybe later, but not at Legions Con.
Yeah, but I
man.
work in Tucson. You guys are welcome out here. I'll do whatever you want.
Because my stuff is here, and this is where I am, so you can come here.
From what I hear, you got to take a bus from Dallas to get there.
Just don't fly Delta. I can't imagine that these guys are going to go very long without having you get these on their arms. But
and then and you're doing the date, is it day 2, which is the Cosmic? Is that day 2? I forget, between the two.
Yeah. Jeremy said that at IshCon, so I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, I did the other 2 as well.
Have they announced when we will be seeing those yet, or no? I don't know. Maybe
I
missed that.
imagine.
Pretty soon.
Shit, Legions Con is coming up a lot faster than.
Yeah, I can't even believe that statement that it's 96 days.
96 days from Blake.
So
we're like,
we're
like a week away from seeing like Oktoberfest beers and like pumpkin spice, and like it's all gonna start hitting because it's August.
Oh yeah,
right? And then it's gonna
we are.
turn the corner, and before you know it, it's gonna be September, October, and then boom.
Crazy.
Well, September we start the road to Legions Con. That's usually when we typically do that. So at some point in September we're gonna have to start that. So yeah,
a couple shows
we're
away.
Close. Oh my God, I have so much to do. Okay.
Oh, same.
Anyway,
same.
Let's take a look. I want to throw a couple other things out here though that I got that I picked up at and feel free to do the same, David, if you picked up anything cool.
Sure.
And I know you did. Let me start with. Oh, I got a cape from Big Dub's. I think sister is doing capes now, and jumping into the lucrative cape game, which you know.
Yeah, it looks like she's doing really cool work. That's nice. I like the border in the bottom there.
I got to learn me some sewing, man, because like.
Sure, just
he's not here to see this.
Just go ahead and add another lane, Trevor.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Why not? With all that time,
it's a 7-lane highway now.
Yeah.
Curtis with the 499 bomb. Thank you, man. I'm so happy for you, David. You are so damn nice and talented. Truly honored to call you a friend. Can't wait to hug you at Legions Con 24. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm so stoked to hang out with everybody.
Hell yeah. Right? Yeah, we missed Curtis.
Can't wait.
Well, sort of. Kind of.
What else?
No, we did. I would have loved if Curtis could have been there.
You know what I picked up at IshCon, besides my new favorite hat, I just like the way that it fits.
This is a nice hat, right?
Like, this is my new hat.
I know. I'm digging it. I'm loving it.
I'm gonna message Chris unless he's here, and I want a camouflage one.
That would be cool.
I'm really into that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
maybe desert camouflage, considering it's the subject. Maybe.
I was just gonna say. Anytime I see someone wearing that, I'm gonna be like, Jesus, is that a cool hat?
Yeah, right.
But,
Jesus. Hell yeah.
Hey, I got more dad jokes. Stick around.
Something I picked up at the con, besides I got some skeletons, I got some gunners.
We got skeletons to give away. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're giving away a skeleton. Yep.
I got some gunners and skeletons for Joe Suter. So I'm excited to see what he pops and swaps on them.
Oh yeah,
dude, Joe is like one of my favorites, man.
He's so good.
He always comes up with. I don't know if it's just like we're simpatico and stuff that we like, you know what I mean? Like, but like I just love the stuff that he does.
He's a cool dude.
He is a very cool dude.
I loved the skeleton gunner mashup that Bill just did. That was
Yes, that was awesome too. Yeah, for sure, man.
Thank you.
A conversation me and Jeremy had was really funny. He was like, everybody's posting all these new skeletons with armor on. And he was like, you guys have been asking for a naked skeleton for this
I know. Now you're putting armor on it.
Somebody did this the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think of that.
That's great.
I want to do one of those for sure.
That's really good.
Like,
wow.
It's amazing.
By the way, that works so well.
I realized my neck popped out today.
Oh wow.
I don't know if it was I'm not sure if it was even glued. Like maybe I loosened the glue just messing around with it so much, but I mean, it goes back in solid. Like it stays in there.
Oh, okay.
Somebody snapped one of their skeletons at the pelvis.
Yeah.
And it looks to be keyed like Kalazir's sword, so it clips back in.
That's the same with this. It's like, it's keyed with that the semicircle with this half. Yeah. But I'm just not sure if this was originally glued now, or I mean, I think it must have been glued because I was really
probably was glued. Swapping, but if it fits that tight, then it probably wasn't a strong glue, right?
But it's kind of cool that it like you can have your headless skeleton there without too much effort.
There you go. I mean, you put that on a horse, and I mean, I just love the fact that they put that pumpkin. They had a ball joint for that to hold it on the hand, so that the pumpkin head was it's just so good.
Genius.
Damn, Ishwar.
He's got a focus group of 89 right now. So chime in and let him know.
This paid me back for my entry fee, man. Thank you. Would you guys be interested in having a full-fledged and legitimate tattoo artist as a booth at IshCon 2025?
I know a guy.
I would probably be tempted to get a tattoo. Yeah, I've never done, like Star Wars Celebration has some great artists, but I've never had really anything that I wanted to get. But at this point, like association with this line and everything.
Yeah.
I think I might do it. You know what I mean? I've always been very like kind of, I wouldn't say generic. I only have two tattoos, but like just generic. You know what I mean? Like more meaningful and stuff. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna
the hardest thing to explain to people when it comes to tattoos at an event that has a specific audience is that I'm not willing to tattoo your idea on you. Like, if they're like, I was thinking about getting this, but then incorporating this, I'm like, I'm at a convention. Like, I'll give you the Arethyr symbol because that's what I brought, you know?
Exactly.
Or something associated. And that's one of the reasons that I don't want to advertise or do tattoos at the show is no matter who you are or who you say you are, when you're talking to a tattooer, you want to make it your own. And you're like, what if you do this, but then you do it like this way? So it's like, got my kid's name in it. I'm like,
that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm sure you're going to run into people, and you know better than I do because you probably run into it all the time. But I think if you had like, here's like 5 or 6 designs that you could get. You get the 4 Horsemen logo. You could get a faction logo, your favorite faction, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're doing. You want that? Great. You don't, call me, come to Arizona.
Come to Tucson. One other thing I picked up before we get past that is I got one of those bikes from Joe Martinez.
From Joe, yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
I can't wait to see how you paint that up. Man,
I'm excited to paint it.
I'm intimidated. I got one like that, but I'm intimidated to paint it, man.
I don't know. I've been looking at it. Like, I don't know what to do. I know he has a few available still.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah.
And it's cool, man. So
yeah, first time I met Joe too. That was great meeting Joe, man. He was
he's
awesome.
A total sweetheart.
Super nice guy.
Does that have a like a spot underneath it to where you can put something underneath it to kind of elevate it? You know, like
it doesn't, but it's pretty heavy. Like, this is like solid.
Is it? Okay.
But I imagine, I mean, if you're creative, you could probably
figure it out.
Yeah, you could probably drill a little hole in it.
That's a cool piece.
Bill, I want to just go back to your comment that you said that Jeremy made about we've been, you guys said you've been scrambling for blank skeletons and now everyone's loading them up, which I can see his point, but at the same time, that's almost the point too, to me, is like,
that's
a blank slate for you to do anything you want to, add to it or whatever. But I mean, they look fantastic just by themselves, but they're also the perfect thing to start adding stuff to. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely.
And I think part of it for me was like, I just wanted to show people, because it was still pretty early. Like, I wanted to show people what's possible, and like,
oh, absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people realized it,
Oh yeah. So I think he was being more funny than anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, this is a piece of news that we missed, obviously, while we were away. But this bad boy came out, incredible, like basically, Valiant Knight in skeleton form. Super posable. I'm seeing a lot of people. Bill, I think you were calling this so far, figure of the year. And I've seen a lot of people. Jay Hernandez, super poser, loves it. It's a great looking figure, man. It's like. You did a comparison too, I think, with some of the other skeleton figures, and while some of them may, I always thought the Storm Collectibles one were a little tall. They looked a little I don't know,
lanky.
A little lanky. Yes, good word. Yeah, perfect.
I love those.
Yes, me too.
Because of how I don't know, they got all different colors and they're so posable and stuff, and they're just a fun figure too. But I do prefer these. These are just more chunky and just like it's like once you turn something into a Mythic Legion, it has this extra value to me because it's like part of this world, and it's swappable, it's compatible, like that and people talk about these other lions are going to come in and like they're doing it better than Legions. Like, no, they're not, because they're not Legions. Like, there's a certain thing about them being part of this ecosystem that is very valuable to me. That is very
fitting in. There's an aesthetic that they have to fit, that they do, they do fit because they're from here. And again, like, these are, whereas, the Storm Collectibles, I know the hands can be swapped out and stuff, but they're not pop and swap, type of things. They're really even taking
There's
the bones.
nothing to swap them with. there's nothing.
Well, you can't swap them. I mean, even if you wanted to swap between colors and stuff like that. But I thought about using even the head or something, or a headless one, and just doing that was like frightening. So you know, this is what these are made for, and they're built for it. You know, and yeah, they're a little chunkier, but you know, it kind of fits the aesthetic of the figures too. You can picture this being a skeleton inside a Mythic Legions figure.
Well, I have the boss fight skeleton. I got the Viking one, so you can strip them down, and while it's a cool skeleton, it's a slightly different scale, but the fragility of a lot of the skeleton figures that have come out for the last however many years kind of makes them less fun to play with. Like when I got this out of the package, I posed it just like a Legions figure, you know, super dynamic and sturdy. And now now I have two, and I am trying to think of like what I can put on him.
I saw Toy Galaxy stripped down his Super 7. I forget the name of the robot skeleton that they have with the
Reaper,
Grim Reaper.
Robot Reaper. Yeah.
Oh, Robot Reaper, right. And put the robes on the skeleton. Again, to Jeremy's point, putting clothes on the skeleton. But we don't have that in hand until we have Maxilius.
I think what that's about
perfectly.
It did fit perfectly. And I have that figure.
Charm.
I was going to sell it. I may keep it.
Yeah, it's just the charm of having this, again, not fragile skeleton that you can do whatever you want with. You can put a robe on him. You're not going to snap his leg off, or you know, it'll be able to support the weight of whatever you throw on top of it. And it's because of the way that they're built.
Yeah, skeletons got me into this line, man. I always wanted skeleton figures. Again, it goes back to Ray Harryhausen and seeing that it was just creepy and cool, and I'm like, yeah, this is, you know, that and all the fantasy art stuff that I grew up with. But like, this is kind of the culmination of all that. You know what I mean? It's like, it was great. Love the armor parts and stuff like that. I mean, it's very fantasy as well, but just being able to have this among your army is really cool. Joe, go ahead, Nate.
Spitting out facts here. Obviously, the gravity on Mythos is higher, resulting in a higher bone density. Duh.
True
Just
enough.
saying, LOL.
True enough.
It's just science, man.
This is Joe being a GM, man. That's his, you know, in a different planet, and there's reasons for things. Well, while we're on the subject of skeletons, let's give away a skeleton. Pick some up at the show. So we'll do in honor of. Let me bring this up. My friend D Amazing, who did a great Q&A with the guys.
Did anyone record that by chance? Did Big Dub or anybody? I haven't seen it.
Legions
did, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Legions have it up on there.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll have to check it out. Wow.
Yeah,
I paid him $20 to make the first question about me, and he did, which was great.
They were also able to get the Horsemen stream recorded really nicely, because I know that there was some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And some, but it's pretty straightforward from the audience, but the audio is really nice. So
good.
Just check out the Legions ladies
cool
IshCon reveal, and it's seamless.
And
I felt
the Horsemen put up the fixed video today.
the recorded
version.
version,
Did they?
right? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, then that's even better. You know?
Because I think what they were recording was different than it just wasn't pushing out for some reason across because of the storms or whatever. It was weird that the video was working and the audio was working, but the stupid slides weren't changing.
That was weird.
But it all worked out that they were posting it, I was posting it, so like people were jumping from IG to YouTube and
you know,
listening to
the reveals. The reveals are the only time, like, there's no way you missed any of it if you were on the internet. Like between all of the channels, and it's another thing that just makes it cool is that the community and the people that are interested in are like, they just push it out there, you know?
Yep.
Whether it's Bill or Jared or even like Nikki Nicole, like one by one, she posts what they're releasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, you can't miss it, even if there was a hiccup on the stream, you know?
Yep. Edgardo. Thank you, man.
$2. A plug for getting your vitamin D. Skelly's are thick boned because they drink milk.
Sure.
Yeah. More facts.
Take that. Yeah, there you
it
go.
just like pours that out like through.
Right.
Yeah, that's like that. That's
they just
like
coat
the joke.
themselves.
That's like the joke
It
where
builds up.
the skeleton walks into a bar and he walks up to the bartender and says, "Hey man, can I get a beer and a mop?"
That's a good one. Yeah, they just build up the calcium by pouring it.
While we're back up, I just wanted to share a pickup, pretty much not related except for SDCC, but I did get.
Yes,
nice.
Odious.
That's so rad.
Yeah,
I got an Odious pick coming tomorrow, man. It's a good figure, really. It's really good.
And it's like this thing's loaded. Like,
I hate to blow smoke up Wade's ass, but like it's a good figure.
It's got 5 heads, 1 billion hands. You know, I took the suit off and put the exclusive jumpsuit on, but
I got sweet. 2. I got the naked one and then the fully clothed one, or the standard. But I'm excited about it. It looks to be a really nice figure, and I love Wade, man. He's just cool.
As much shit
awesome.
as I gave him, and he gives everybody else. I love the dude, man. He's great. He's
absolutely.
He's kind of a different person in person too. I probably shouldn't say that, but kind of, sort of he is.
He's way tougher in person.
He still won't hug you, but that's fine.
The first time I met him, it was my only Toy Fair 2019, and like Mezco wouldn't give me the time of day. Like Trevor, I saw you there, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But he was he was so cool, and he was just like I had never met him before.
I don't think I met him that time.
We maybe chatted online a couple times, but like he was so warm and like chill and awesome to meet, and so supportive. Like he's nice. From the beginning of that was really early on in my YouTube days. And from the beginning of that, like he's always been super supportive of me. So
yeah,
he's an awesome dude.
That's how I felt about you guys at Legions Con 2022. I walked in there. I knew Walter, and I knew a couple of people through our chats. But when I met you guys, you're a little starstruck by people that you pay attention to and you follow and you enjoy the content they create. But that's how it was with you guys. It was just like these 3 dudes that I thought were the coolest guys ever, that were just super friendly and welcoming. So,
and now you know we're not cool at all.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're friendly.
Do you guys even have tribute figures?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Right there, right. That's all that's pretty much it. Some people have 3.
I'm sure they're coming. 2. Yeah, right.
I also want to shout out while we're at shout outs here. Am I on? Are we good? Because I got a little skippy there for a second. Okay.
Yep, we hear you.
You're a Legions boys. Sent me out the exclusive pin. A little note.
Yeah.
Handwritten note. Classy. So classy.
Very classy.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. It's awesome.
already on the pin board.
Oh, nice.
I'm working on some pins. This year. We'll see. Got my G-Con pin from IshCon.
That was a cool pin.
Got. I don't think I had this one, the orange and blue, and of course the glittery purple.
I got the purple one and the orange one. I actually got all 3 because I didn't have the rose gold one either.
Oh, I don't actually. Do I have the rose gold one? I don't know. I think I do. I don't know.
Speaking of pins, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I did place an order for the dungeon.
Yeah, I know.
For
Kevin.
Pins.
Thanks, Kevin.
You did? Oh, cool.
Yeah, with George. Yep.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Yep.
Pins. My last pins I had, they were so bad. It's literally a piece of acrylic with a sticker behind it. It's such a piece of crap.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I did get one, and I do have it on my pin board.
And the backs,
I'd have it up, but it's
the backs break off all of these and stuff. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to get the good ones.
I love.
And it's going to be it's going to be the dungeon map too.
Oh cool. Wow!
I love that was your approach when you handed me that. You were like, "Oh, I have these really crappy pins. I'm going to make better ones for next year." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I'll talk about some of my other pickups next time.
Whoever's got the shirt from Dave Orkin, did you get the pin that came with it? He made like the old school, like kind of the rock pins, you know, like
the little
button.
Nice.
Yeah, I got the button right here.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Very classic. Loved it.
Yeah,
that's like a Floyd. That's like a Pink Floyd album cover right there.
Yeah, this is what I thought I was getting when I ordered this thing. I thought I was getting like one of these. Like, even this is 1,000 times better than this. But and I got the sticker too.
Same.
Right,
yeah. It's a good package you put together.
I have like a drawer where I keep all stickers and stuff because like I have a pin board, but like stickers and postcards and photos and all that stuff.
Patches.
I have just a drawer specifically for it, and I kept the bag that this shirt came in also has the print on it.
Oh, you kept
it's just so cool. Yeah,
it's cool, man. You put together a good package, man.
Yeah, it was really
made me a little jealous. Like I should have, like, should I get bags? You know.
All right, let's jump real quick over to Oxkrewe Book 2. Electric
Boogaloo.
Oh, you beat me to it. See, this is why we're brothers. All right. So we'll go through this quick. I'll try to remember what order. I should remember this because it was drilled into my head because I had to like make sure that the one figure wasn't in the picture with another figure before it was, its time had come to be shown. So we got Hylor Kryn. So this is a former Traders Union member who is now, I've forgotten all the bios, honestly. But he's now on this planet. He's now part of the, what are they calling these guys? The Heroes.
Crew, Escape Zone or something like
Escape
that.
Zone. Escape Zone? Yeah, Escape Zone crew or something like that. What do we think of this guy?
Besides Buzz Off, this is my favorite right here.
Okay.
I was going to say this is my favorite and will be my next major Masters of the Universe tribute.
Ooh.
Oh.
This guy's awesome. I love this character.
Yeah.
I love the colors.
I love the colors.
The soft goods are so rad. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Some people have said that. I've seen people saying that about the helmet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the colors.
What did you say about the helmet?
Oh.
Mosquito.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking rad.
They're gonna have to they're gonna have to give you another one then. Like it's gonna be like you're just gonna be like they did the helmet for that reason. Yeah, I love the soft goods on this thing. I think they're really cool. The texture on them just feels like it belongs, in the desert. And I love the way they can I kind of like I like this. I kind of like this unhelmeted head with the scarf around it. It's very Dune-ish.
I love the contrast of the yellow and brown versus the bright teal, blue, purple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just so like aesthetically pleasing. I love this character.
It's so sci-fi,
Yeah.
It's
like you imagine it being a reveal in a movie where this character is all dusty in the desert and all, beige and stuff, and then it like pulls the helmet off.
And he's got the voice modulator or whatever.
He undoes the hose on the front and then like unlatches the back.
Right. And then he's like, "Hi
guys." So where are we going?
That's what he sounds like from now on.
It's canon.
It's canon.
So I'm glad you just pulled this up. Can you talk about this this machine, this cart, this car, this whatever you want to call it?
Oh my god.
Sure. And everybody was like trying to figure out what this was, and it's what's his name?
Cog.
Thank you. I wanted to say Korg. It's just Cog kind of chilling out there. So this one was one that like this was the first reveal, and he was sort of in there, but kind of hidden. So, the vehicles, dude. Again, the guys at the shop, Dan and Bill, put this stuff together. 3D print this stuff, paint it, weather it. I guess Cameron had a little bit to do with the weathering and the painting. I guess everybody kind of had a hand in it because there was a lot to do. But yeah, they built these things, man, and it's a train just like you see on the poster. We'll talk about Tom's poster in a second, or a little later. Really cool, huge. I mean, each one was about maybe a foot long and maybe 9 inches wide or so at the platform. Yeah, so I mean, you can see the scale that they're in, with the figures. Even, Cog fits in there, sitting in the seat. Just I love the design. It just feels so cool. Like it, and all the little details they put in, the gas can and the rope and these little water, casks of gourds or something like that, and the netting. It just totally, the weathering just felt Mad Max. And as much as I love the photos that came out of this, and I'm happy with this. I mean, it's really, they got to take a lot of credit for the way these look, because they did a great job making these vehicles look so good, man.
This is awesome. This vehicle in particular is going to be the next Dragon situation. Where
I told Eric
10 years ago, when Cornboy said there's going to be a 3-foot dragon, or we would love to make a 3-foot dragon, for Jim to look at the photo and just say, so that vehicle's really cool. Can we do something like that? Or whatever. It was so awkward and hilarious at the same time.
It was funny.
Yeah. Well, there's another one. Well, I'll bring that up when it comes up in that vein. But I talked to Eric. I said, listen, they didn't bring the vehicles to IshCon, but they are going to be at Legions Con. And I don't know if they're going to, I don't want to talk about anything because I don't know, because I don't think they know. But hey, if you're interested in these things, I don't know what we have to do. Maybe start a petition at Legions Con or something like that. But if they're out there and you see them and you're like, yeah, I want this, let them know, because that's the case. It's kind of a matter of whether or not people would want these things, whether or not they'd pay what, the kind of price that it would take to get something like this. And I don't think you need this whole train. It's a lot. I couldn't even get the thing on the table, all 3 of them at once. But the lead car with the skull on the front of it, is pretty cool, man. I would love to have that.
Yeah, I mean, this might be up there with one of, if not my new favorite shot of yours, Trevor. It's just awesome.
You. I think was the first one I took, and I was trying to figure out a way to incorporate these things and use them, because we were talking about it's going to be, kind of breaking down, and if they're around it, you know what I mean, hanging. I'm like, yeah, but the whole thing is they're kind of being chased by it, so I really wanted to get them into sort of a Mad Max.
Oh, you nailed it! So. This looks, And the other shots of it really looks like you can see that high speed desert chase of
awesome,
all the crazy stuff.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I gotta say, this out of the Oxkrewe crew is definitely he's definitely up there with my favorites. I think the next one was Joe Barra Key. Yep. And I'll tell you what, I've been seeing some people saying, but I think she's cool, man. I kind of had a problem with her in the way that I have problems with figures that don't hold together well. But after I got her into this pose and got her on this shot, I was like, damn, she's pretty cool looking, man. I like her a lot. I like this whole team.
I love the paint scheme on her again too. And her head sculpt is awesome.
Yeah, I think not being able to get her into some dynamic poses just because of the structure of it, it was I mean, she's holding together here, but it's I mean, this is what you do with these things, but
this is another $37 figure that comes with the cloth arms and legs.
Yeah.
That Gadriel head is beautiful. If you don't have a Gadriel head, you might not be into it.
Right.
For whatever reason, but it's an excellent sculpt with a lot of personality.
Yeah,
she's got a great personality, and it's such a cool reuse of the Ziri.
Yes.
Mask.
Yep.
And again,
I like stuff like that. I mean, cool, I want to see new armor and stuff like that, but something like that feels like that's what people buy. You know what I mean? Or you find, or it's a standard issue on a ship that they found, or and scavenged or whatever. So I'm cool with that.
Talk about Dune vibes. This
Yeah.
absolutely gives me Dune vibes right here.
Yep.
It's like a still suit or something.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
And
again,
you could take
this
this
is-
cape and this skirt, you could place it onto any of the other figures. I love this
Or on
cape,
your
man. This cape is great.
Mythics.
Yeah, that like khaki colored soft goods, like
It's
just
really
like
nice.
Poxis. Poxis's like collar
Yep.
has been, reused on everything so
Yeah.
many times because it's a cool look. It's just a really cool.
Speaking of Joe Suter, that's a Joe Suter special.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
Yeah,
This
right?
figure he's gonna
Oh
go
yeah.
crazy with.
And
Oh,
shout out
yeah.
to CJ for like sourcing these things. Like this is a perfect
Oh,
material.
absolutely.
Like it works so well for that rough looking desert cotton type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just perfect at that scale. It looks really, really good.
It's
And
funny,
of course, beautifully wired.
I haven't looked really thoroughly at a lot of these pictures because every time I go to look at it, I just look at Anthropolis. Whatever. Oh, look at that! It's happening. No, I'm just kidding. I like that helmet from the
I do too. Mm-hmm.
not science officer. What was she called?
Engineer.
It
Engineer.
was the engineer. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool to see it in another color scheme than Zirian.
That's awesome.
Or not
Yep.
Zirian, Callian Shun too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Go
I know
grab
we
a
could.
drink. I'll be
We'll
right
probably
back.
shout it out when we get to. I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but Agcha, the alien-looking guy. But when you brought up CJ, it was cool about Eric said, they sent him the stuff, but he like one-upped what they wanted and came back with really cool surprises. With his,
Yeah.
his stuff he did. That's awesome. I love how everybody, just levels up stuff for they just, whoever they source stuff out to. It's just amazing.
And speaking of the car, shout out to Jim. Like if you go back and watch, I don't think Jim had seen any of the pictures. I don't know. he called out. He's like, what is this great looking like vehicle that we got?
Yeah,
Jeremy's
yeah,
like,
that's funny.
you can see Jeremy's
that's
eyes
it.
like, shut up.
That's what I was. That's what I
for
was
sale.
saying about the the Corn Boy Dragon comment is comparable to the Jim.
Oh
talking
yes,
about
yes,
this,
right,
Talking
yeah,
about this car.
That's right. Cat out of the bag, yeah, for sure.
Hilarious.
But yeah,
So
she's cool, man. I dig her. I think this is a good figure. I don't know if
I like
she's
her a lot.
she might be my third or fourth, but she's up there in the top, I think.
Yeah.
I think the cloth arms and legs are. I mean, definitely
Yeah.
the same as
Parts
the-
wise, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from a part standpoint, I love the idea of having 2.0 cloth arms and legs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're in a
I'm just
good
gonna-
color, like that bluish.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
Let's
No,
just
Jim
keep
did not build
perpetuating
that.
this myth. No, well, let's keep. Let's keep.
Did we miss a super chat from Curtis? Or we got it?
Did we miss
We
it?
did. I don't know if you brought this one up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, we did miss it. I did see it, and then it got away from me.
Thank
So
you,
sorry.
Curtis. I
Yeah.
texted Darla from GCon24, fanboying out, and said, Dorkler is sitting next to me. And Bill's not here to hear that.
No, Bill's not here.
We'll leave it up. We'll leave it up so you can see that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's
I
job.
just caught. I just.
Or you
caught
just got it. Okay. That's funny.
I'm gonna do
All
the
right.
same. I'll be right back.
Okay. Keep putting those meatless men posts up. We got, let's see, let me ship 57 entries. We got 101 people in here, so that's a little over half of you if anybody wants a skeleton. Now, I will say this. If you have a bunch already, it would be nice because they did sell out rather quickly, and there are some people who didn't get them. So if you have a bunch, I mean, I'm not saying if you have one or two, but if you got a bunch, maybe pull yourself out. But it's fine. Also, same thing goes with everything. Domestic shipping within the continental U.S. is free. If you're overseas, you can still enter. I just may need a little bit of offset difference in shipping or something for that. So, but feel free to enter. All right, let's jump back to this. The third one was, I believe, COG, right? I think COG was the third one they showed.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to be honest. Like, I think this is cool. And I like it. Again, he was a little problematic in prototype form. So I didn't warm up to him as much as I could have. But man, people are loving this figure, man. People are like, this is coming out as a lot of people's favorites in this.
I
wave.
think it's awesome. It's definitely my, after. I don't know. I forgot his name already.
Highlor.
Yeah.
After him, this is my next one.
I think I might have told one or all of you, depending on where we were at, that Chewbacca is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yes.
And it's like Chewbacca. He's like a
big, your Chewie.
Mechanic, beast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's very so good. I love the tools. I always love little extras.
Yep. The little tools come out. Obviously, we saw that. I think it's cool. I mean, he's almost got a personality right out of the gate. You know what I mean? And I know he's that's written in the bio a little bit, but very much in the vein of Chewie, which I also love Chewie. And it's tall. He's really cool. I really dig it without the goggles on.
Goggles,
it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's a great head design.
I can't wait to get these bodies in hand. Just the spacesuits.
Yes. Yeah.
Based off of what they're doing with new Legion stuff, like I imagine these are going to be fairly dynamic, heavily armored characters.
Toe joints.
Yeah, they're so chunky. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Fun. It's the same thing with like the specs. Like I knew when I got a production version of that, I was going to love it, but I absolutely hated it in prototype form. And it's the same thing with these. I think they're going to be incredible to play with and to pose. I just can't wait to get them.
Yeah, a lot of people with you on the Chewie vibe here.
Yeah,
for sure. Yep. Yeah, it looks great, even without the helmet, without the neck piece. I kind of dig this look. Actually, this is kind of my favorite look for him.
Yeah, I like seeing more of the neck too.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that's such a rad character.
Yeah. So this little piece above the eye, it's in here right now, but that pops out, and then this pops in its place. So that little triangular piece pops in, and that's what gives him the goggles, and that's how they stay on. So
did any of you guys have the Mezco Predator?
No,
I don't. He has where you put the light or the batteries in. It's on like the fins of his back thing, and it's like that comes out, and then you put the batteries in, and you put it back in.
Oh yeah, same thing, type of plug.
Yeah,
yeah,
but you can't tell. It's seamless. Because of the sculpt. So that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. Like it's a ridge of his head is in between the eyes.
It's like
and these are, I mean, I think they talked about this, but these are translucent, so you can actually kind of see his eyes through. Yeah, they're translucent.
That's rad.
Just like
so
sunglasses. Awesome. And there he is doing some repairs. This is kind of the first thing we talked about, Jeremy and I, in terms of like, setups and stuff. Now, it's Valak, right? Yeah, Valak was supposed to be a character in this as well, because he gets taken along on this from Oxkrewe Book 1, but they didn't send him to me, so I couldn't put him in. We'll pretend he's back there on the track.
So is that Kern Ray in front of him?
It is Kern Ray. Yep. Okay. That's Kern Ray. They did send me Kern Ray to put in there because she's driving the truck. So they obviously any shots of her in the front of the truck, they wanted to have her in there. And this little guy is the thing that everybody was bringing up today in terms of being the bottle from the swig.
Oh no!
I'm like, dude, that's part of the dio, man. So like, don't talk to me.
They said that was there last year. That was in the dio. That was.
It's in some of these rocks. If you look at the rocks, they're actually crawling on the rocks in some of them. So. Nice. This happened to be one that was loose, and I just I love the look of them, so I just thought I'd put them around there.
It's awesome. Great little addition.
Yeah. But
so I want to address this. I want to address this comment from Babylon Squared. Unfortunately, an exposed simian tail does not make sense for a containment space suit. Well, actually, there is an energy field that extends down off of that hole where the tail is. The whole tail is actually inside an energy field that is invisible, so it's actually fine. Right.
Yeah, the dome. It starts at the dome and it goes through, and then it travels through the suit and goes around the tail.
Yeah,
and that's how Eric Treadaway was talking about how the way he saw the clear pegs were like almost like they were hovering.
Yeah, that's the way I think about them. Yeah,
it's the same kind of thing.
Magnetized, that they're just kind of there's a magnetic field there that kind of holds them in place.
Yeah, so don't worry, his tail is safe.
I mean, you don't know this creature. You don't know what kind of nervous system they have, and whether there's actual blood vessels going through there.
Shaves the top of his tail so that it's a nice airtight seal, right? And the air can't get in.
Maybe the dome is just like a CPAP. Like it's just a breathing apparatus.
Right.
He snores.
Maybe the tail is decorative. Maybe it's not even his tail. Maybe he doesn't have a tail. You know what? It's up to you. It's your damn imagination. So you can be whatever the hell you want it to be. You don't have to put the tail on. The tail comes off. So you can take the tail off, and he's tailless, kids. Like, there you go.
Where would he put it? Down one leg? Like, if he's going to keep it in the suit? Like, where does the tail go? Up
that's
the top and then wrap
too many
around
jokes there.
on his head?
Right. Over his shoulder like a continental soldier.
You went there. All right. What was fourth? I think fourth was evil. We'll go to the survival
fourth is the
set
accessories.
for now.
Yeah.
So very much like we got the last. Killing me. A little bit like what we got last time, with a few extra accessories.
What I'll say while you guys collect yourselves, I have to look at my phone for the comments. What I say about accessory packs and weapons packs is just get it, because every time I've made a custom where I've needed one of those pieces, it's better to take it out of the accessory pack or the weapons pack than take it off of an existing character.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm with you. Yep, I'm with you. Like the magic packs, I love that. Like, I don't want to have to take the stuff from the figure to use for a photo or something like that.
Yeah,
because I know I'm not going to replace it, and I know I'm going to lose it, or whatever.
Yeah, you'll find a use, even if you're not a Dio person. Like, you'll find a use for all of these pieces eventually.
These are going to look good just on the shelf with cog, like just sitting, like, because this opens up and you can put the stuff in there. It stores it basically. So that's really cool. This one doesn't, but it's got the little plug for the antenna, which came with Kern Ray.
Now, does that hose plug into the flashlight?
It does.
Cool.
Wait. Does it? Yeah. Wait a minute. I think it does.
You had it in your photo.
Yeah, it must. I think it plugs into the back. This right back here.
Okay, cool.
It plugs right into the back of it. Yep. So the peg is obviously for the arm, but you can you can put the hose. You can put that on the arm, and then you can put the hose back to the.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that we're not just getting crates; that we're getting like the binocs and the flashlight and the.
My one pick, just so I will say, I'm not a total cuck here, but like I do kind of wish that the binoculars had just a strap, like a piece of string or a piece of cord or something like that wasn't formed, because they hang well, but like if you want to have them holding them, you can have it around the neck and hold them. I've done that, but if they're holding them or something, it's kind of up in the air. You could heat it and bend it. You could cut it off if you wanted to.
With the horses.
Inclined. Yes.
Yeah. Like you just heat it and bend it.
Exactly. Yep.
I could
Curtis
see that wouldn't be too tough to customize if you wanted.
No, it would be very easy. I mean, you could just drill little holes in there and get some of that cord and glue it inside, and you'd be all set, which I may do.
Like leather or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm kind of with Curtis here. Like, I think,
me too.
Like when we get I opened up this guy, the new gunner, and I was like, and there's been a few like this where I'm like, why? I just wish it came with two guns, like two
every time
of the pistol. Every character that comes with one pistol should come with two, in my opinion.
Two guns are cooler than one for sure.
And with
especially with the new
paint
apps we're getting,
that's how.
That's true. It's the same mold, so that they all have the same. The hole on the same side, right?
There's both. No, there's. I believe there's both
two sides.
Yeah.
With the same pistol?
Yeah, that pistol comes in one, the hole on the left side and the hole on the right side.
I hadn't noticed that. I guess you're right.
So if you have a character with both pistols, which a couple of them do,
like Novi and Lean,
I think they all should.
Yep.
Or at the very least, what Curtis is saying, a pistol weapons pack that does come with both sides. That you can have them on both sides if you want to swap them out for a figure or something like that.
We're due for some new weapons too. Somebody made this comment in my video.
Definitely,
like, we could use some new weapons in this line.
So. Absolutely, got to get some new weapons for sure.
I mean, the new paint apps they're putting on them make them stand apart, But we're due for some new tooling.
I'm like thrilled with the new paint apps because that was something in the first wave that I was like, and I know it was a matter of time and stuff like that, but and maybe initial cost, but like they were just it was kind of green. I mean, those are the builder figures too, but like still like a wash or something like that would have been nice. A couple of little light scrapes and stuff like that. The stuff that they put the weathering on these boxes is another cool thing right here. I love the way these look weathered.
I think another weapon thing is the sniper rifle, like Ziri having the strap.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that there was more sniper rifles with straps. I mean, just sniper rifles in general. Those are cool weapons.
They are badass. Yeah.
I guess we'll get to it, but I guess the last character, he has a sniper rifle. I don't know if it has a strap.
Yeah, it does.
It does have a strap.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And I learned something else interesting about that, which I will I'll bring up when we get there. I think there's one of those bugs in the rocks here somewhere. Anyway, so there you go. There's your weapons pack. How much was that?
25.
5. Yep. Thraxian Hunter. So these are a different tribe or maybe even subspecies of Thraxian that are not like the Thraxians they met at the camp. A lot more violent, and they attacked the crew and the train or the cars. I love this color on these things. I mean, I thought I loved the green ones a lot, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out which one I love. And this helmet, man, looks so cool.
The helmet's cool.
I love the way this looks. Right?
Yeah, I like this race. Like,
yeah.
It's not. So I made the joke the first time they showed the Thraxian, that it kind of has like a Slee Stack vibe because it's green.
Totally.
But this one, like for whatever reason, like this is a color palette I prefer.
Me too. Yeah.
But all the bone armor, and I like the bare forearms too.
Yes. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. And those little cuffs will come off. Those are separate pieces too, obviously.
Yeah,
so those come off. But I do love that they're both like it's not completely. I mean, maybe Eric was thinking this, but I remember when Eric and Jeremy and I sat down to talk about the building a dio for Oxkrewe 1, because this kind of stuff has to have like specific stuff going. It's like making a movie, you know what I mean? Like you have to, you can't just do, Tatooine desert with, you know what I mean? It's got to be different. We got to set this apart and make it something unique and set it, in its own world. And the fact that, we said, okay, maybe it's red sand and maybe there's these purple spiky rocks that come out of it. I remember having this whole conversation, like, maybe they had talked about some of this previously, but I suggested that the sky be like a greenish color, I think. And just the fact that they've come out with some of these figures that match those territorial looks, you know what I mean, and blend into the environment that they're in is so cool, man. I just love it. It's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
This is another set of soft goods that's just so cool.
Yeah,
I love
this
that.
Top piece is amazing. Yeah,
this is one of those characters that I would just army build.
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah,
just to have on display, or just because like there's so many variations in looks.
Yep.
But again, the aesthetic is so cool that I'm like, I'd take a bunch of these guys.
Yeah.
These guys give me, and Joe Suter will probably agree with this because I think Joe Suter's into John Carter, Warlord of Mars feel like type aliens. Like these are the kind of people that, you know what I mean? And I'm going to do some stuff with that for sure when take him a little bit out of the storyline, but
Yeah.
in storyline,
it's gonna kit bash really well with the other figures, like with High Lore specifically, and then also with the Buzz Off figure. Like those three figures.
I was going to bring up your post.
I put a post up. That. Those three figures are going to be like infinite combinations right there.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I was saying when I obviously I didn't see any of these reveals and I didn't see any of the Buzz Off pictures, but knowing that Buzz Off was coming in this wave and seeing that everything was brown, like that's a pretty cool combination of parts to just throw together. Like your guys' pop and swap thing is going to be pretty cool when this is out.
Well, that plus, I mean, you look at the colors in this wave, and you look at like Gaspar too, and the Tusk Heavy Gunner.
It's a lot of that.
The oranges, the greens, the browns. I mean, all a little different, but man, they're going to blend really well, man. I can't wait to see
tones. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love the colors, man.
Yeah, first this photo, and it's incredible. The perspective and the depth is just so cool. But this Thraxian, just like the other one, I think are going to be out of this whole wave more compatible with Mythic than anything too. I think there's going to be some really cool potential pop and swaps with Mythic stuff. Yeah,
for sure. Joe, we're going to get you on, man. I was thinking about talking to you this weekend. Actually, we were just talking about you, and I'm like, I got to get Joe on. Just my ride backstage, man. Well, you know, we take out the green M&Ms, so like I don't know what else to need. But just in this, I don't like to talk about, but like I really like the way the pictures came out with this one. This one was a tricky one because I'm like, how am I going to get? He's got to be below the truck, and they're tall. You know what I mean? The trucks are pretty tall, and like get him so that you can see him, but also understand that, you know, he's attacking and they're defending. So went to top down, which is like I love doing. I love top down.
Oh, you nailed it. Like it looks like these guys came out of the rocks, and one by one they're just like jumping off of rocks or underneath.
I wish I had a few more of them. I probably could have like taken him away and put another guy, you know, put him in the back there and like superimposed it, but it was just a matter of time. So, but it was.
That's a great shot.
So there's your Thraxian Hunter. Also 27?
37, yeah.
Oh, he's 37. 37. Right, not 27, 37. And then I think they brought you up.
Yeah, and then it was
at that point. And we got into, I'm going to still say Anthophiles. I don't know how Anthophilios is, but whatever.
Phileas.
Phileas. Okay.
Phileas.
Still don't know how that works.
That's how Jeremy pronounced it.
Right. Yeah, we talked a lot about this. I don't want to diminish it again, but that was the order that it came up, and it was a great moment. And if you haven't seen it, go watch. You can still watch it on the Four Horsemen one, but it's going to be very small. I think the way the Legions ladies probably recorded it is the way to watch it. So then you can.
And then the beginning of this episode, we really addressed a lot of this before.
Yeah,
I think before Bill got here. So I mean, and then he released a video talking about it, which, thank you, that was very kind.
Yeah,
all of that.
Awesome.
It was awesome. Awesome stuff. I think Bungie was next, right? Bungie was next. So I'll be honest, when I got this, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is what I wanted from the first one. Like, I like the first one, and I think it's cool. But I like mounts, and I want ships, and I want stuff from Cosmic. And I got it. I'm like, oh, this is great. But then I'm thinking, geez, I wonder if people are going to be into it enough. You know what I mean? In terms of like, it's another one of these things.
Oh, I love this.
But it's got a saddle. But amazing. I was completely wrong, and everybody really seemed to love it. So
yeah, it's so cool.
So I'm not a creature collector. So I just got one of the skate packs. Like, I think he's cool. I try and get everything from all of these lines. But this guy, it's like the Balius situation where it's just, I'll always have a rider with it.
Yeah.
And it'll be kind of front and center with like personality when I pose it.
For sure.
And you can tell it looks like a charming creature.
Yeah. And again, with this,
Thraxians would look great on this.
I think so too.
Absolutely.
Again, with this, like I felt like it's like one of those things that I cannot wait to get a fully articulated figure because it's a nightmare to balance this thing. But when it comes, oh my God, the stuff that I couldn't do this time around with having it, I wanted to have it like running like the bear. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that I could do with that, I wanted to be able to do with this. You just can't. You can't do it. But it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool, and having the Vreebly and riding him is going to be amazing. Oh, we got another super chat. Stefan, my man.
What's up,
buddy?
What's up, Steph? $9.99. Thank you, man.
Miss
you guys
too, Steph.
Absolutely, man. Steph and I had a great time at SDCC, man. He's like an awesome person to travel with, to room with, to hang out with, to go to a con with. I would not do it with many other people, but he's fantastic. And yes, congrats, Dave. Awesome. Can't wait to see you again, man. Maybe New Jersey Toy Con. We'll see. Yeah. So Skateback, Bungie. Yeah, Bungie. And everybody's saying, well, it's obviously Benji, like he's a dog. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Well, Benji
kept calling him Benji in my video on accident.
Benji, like, it depends on your attachment to Benji. Like, he was a special, sweet dog.
Yeah.
In a TV show, or was it a movie or a TV show?
It was many things.
Movie,
it was
wasn't
books.
it?
It was a movie, and then it was TV shows as well. Yeah,
But
that's the other thing. I didn't think anybody remembered Benji. You know,
he's also the same colors. Like
Soft
he's the
my
exact
eyes
same
out.
colors as Benji. Yeah.
Yes, true enough. Yeah.
And with his story, his bio, he seems like a sweet creature. You know?
Right. I'll just point out that right here on the rock.
There it is.
Right here.
I would love it if every photo that you did for certain cosmic things or even mythic things would be to have like a Where's Waldo type of thing. That'd be fun.
I'd love to have the time to do that kind of
Greg's.
stuff.
Fun.
It would be cool. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've done that before.
It'd be cool just to have like if the studio provided you the same way that like
this
weird little creature that they're like just toss him in the back and doesn't have to be
spot
noticeable.
the creature, right? Yeah, exactly.
That'd be fun for us as a group.
Like
there's some things that
Chris's demons when he does his
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. That kind of thing. Well, it was kind of that way with Cog on the first image too, for people to go like, wait, what? Who's that guy on the? So yeah, this is how much is this one?
48. Everything else is 48.
Okay.
So I'm curious, is the body of this the same as the skateback?
I think there are parts. I think there's parts for use in the legs.
Okay.
And possibly.
I think the
possibly
the
some of these front parts. The head is different.
Only because
head.
If you bought a few of these, could you put the saddle on a purple skateback?
Maybe, but there's more spikes. I think it's different, man. I think there's more spikes, and they spike out on the original one.
Okay.
Let's go take a look. But I think maybe the base body and the legs are the same.
Okay.
I just think they did do some different. Because these stick out. Like riding this dude would be hard. He's real. This is not him. You know, this is more of a hard-edged. Actually, I don't even know if the legs are reused. We can go back and look, but.
I feel like the back is there, like right after that spike.
Yeah,
I don't know. You would know.
I don't think the saddle would fit on this, honestly. Because this spike here and this spike here. I'm also wondering if the torso is built the same way on.
The new one doesn't have those like bone-colored spiky things coming out of it anywhere.
Correct.
Except the head. With a tusk kind of thing.
Well, it's got a few, but they kind of like softly go backwards, like.
Just on the legs.
No, you're right. He doesn't have the bone. Well, he's got these in the legs, so the lower legs may be reuse. But even here, like you're right. Yeah, there's no spikes. It's kind of soft. Yeah, imitation of the rocks that are on the. Oh, here's one. Yeah, they do have the spikes,
like
but they kind of
pine cone kind of.
Yeah, they kind of like cradle. You know, they kind of like. Conform to the shape of the other ones behind them. They don't stick way out like
is it
danger.
Is it Bishop? Is it Bishop that is the white horse from Necronomics?
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like this is kind of a Bishop situation where I like it, but the bio makes it that much more cool. You know, like
right.
Like I like all the horses, but Bishop has a special attachment.
Yeah. Looking at it, I think this base body, because I think this piece right here is a piece unto itself that will pop onto the front of the body, and then there's a ball joint for the neck and the head. So I think the base body, this part, is the same. Although I don't know about those spikes on the top of the other one. I don't know if those were part of the torso, or maybe it was just a picture that they looked like they were there. I don't know. I'm not so. Answer is I don't know if you can get the saddle on the other one. I'm not really sure.
Just for like the possible Thraxian to ride it. I know they're 1.0, but people don't seem to mind scale.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be kind of cool if the other one was built to have been able to be a ride, a mount for Thraxians. I mean, I suppose they could ride bareback.
There's a big empty spot, so who knows? We'll figure it out once they're here.
Let's look at the side view. There's got to be a side view here. Is there not? Oh no, we didn't do a side
maybe
view. Okay.
Maybe the saddle will have a recess inside that like allows it to go.
Oh, that allows that to go in. Yeah, true.
They're pretty considerate of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I forget about those swiping claws on that. That's such a cool touch.
Yeah. That thing gets cooler every time I look at it.
It is cool.
The first time I saw it, I was like, it's all right.
Last but not least, Oxkrewe, another Veblean. I kind of keep on calling them Vreblians, but they're Vebleans. So he is also part of the Scape Haven Rovers, right? Like, oh no, not the Rovers, but the Scape Haven crew there, the Harrow Zone crew, whatever. Which I thought he was more of a watcher, kind of like an independent agent or something like that. Yeah.
That's so cool. Those soft goods are so good. They're amazing. Yeah, and the pocket up front is practical. That's so neat too. Yeah.
There's also, so I didn't know about this until Joe pointed it out to me at IshCon, and I'm trying to find a picture that maybe shows it well, and it may be this one. So if you look at this right here, this little, I'll flash my mouse so you can see what I'm talking about. This little piece right here. That's a little flap, like a little like members only type of like thing.
Yeah.
You can put the strap through there and have the gun just go over one shoulder, and so it hangs there, so you don't have to have the strap across the body. It just hangs on the side, which is, I mean, the fact that that's open and not just like a little nice little stitch detail that's like closed. Sure. It's actually you can thread something through there, which could be anything. You know, you could have a hose, you know, from one of those things if you want to have the gun or something. You know. Like all that kind of stuff can be added to it. It's just a great touch.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's what sets Legions in general apart from a lot of the stuff is that someone like CJ, who knows clothing, better than any of us or anybody else that does soft goods.
That's right.
Like, it's just a really cool consideration.
I love this. In blue, he reminds me more of a hammerhead shark than the other one did. I didn't see it before, but now I'm like, oh, that is a hammerhead shark.
Was it Bill that said it looked like a hammerhead or it looked like a shark?
You?
I definitely think it looks like a shark. I may have mentioned it in my video that it's very. Looking at this picture right here, it's very shark-like.
Yeah, for sure. Like the coloring, for sure. I love these little guys, man. It's again another figure that drove me nuts, but I know when I get it in hand as a production figure, it's going to be one of my favorite things.
I like his alternate head or helmet. Is it an alternate head or a helmet?
It's a helmet. It's so cool.
I love helmets, man. I think they're so cool.
This to me feels so. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
I like that the rifle now has the wood finish on the stock.
Yes,
there. Like, that's a good touch.
Somebody pointed that out to me. Was it you, Dave? I don't know. Somebody pointed out to me that it was just like, that's a cool little touch that it's just made of wood. So that's. But this to me has such like a classic Isaac Asimov, Macquarie look to it. You know what I mean? Like that's like when I took the picture of it, and I wasn't like trying to channel that, but I'm like, it came out looking like, man, this could have been like a 1962, cover of a pulp, sci-fi book. You know what I mean? Like it's which the colors and everything help, but like the look of that helmet and this creature just like make
Which,
it. So
with
cool.
Especially
Macquarie
at that
being
Woodstock.
involved.
Yeah.
With like the Macquarie comparison, it's like it brings it right into like the Jedi universe or like the Jabba's Palace universe.
Totally.
Yep.
Where it's
Yep.
like
Star
you can
Wars
see this
Cantina
dude.
creature right here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep. Which is that's Macquarie got a lot of that stuff and
Exactly.
why it looks so cool. So overall, go ahead. Who's that?
My
Yep.
I was joking, but I was serious. My favorite reveal was that character laying inside the sleeping bag.
Yes. Let's see if I don't know if they even actually have this
They
up there. I know
posted
they
it
have
on
it on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on IG,
Let me go
yeah.
jump over there.
Oh, it's so good. Like, because we've all met CJ at least. Yeah, and he's such a sweet, cool dude. But like the fact that nobody asked for this picture, and then he just sent it. Like he looks so cozy in this weird sleeping bag that
Right.
that they didn't have to make in the first place.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a sleeping bag. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because for me, I'll do a shot like this, but I don't know how many people are going to have unroll the sleeping bag and put their figures in it on the shelf. But
skateboards are pretty badass. We're getting those from Four Horsemen. So maybe
some
Con 25. Maybe we'll get some Legion sleeping bags.
I'm going to see a ton of classified photo shoots with like the team sleeping around a campfire or something like that. Like people are going to use this. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it could be like a medieval, roll, like bedroll or whatever, but I could see people doing something with it,
Yeah, this is a tactical, and the way the seam stops halfway up, like the way a sleeping bag does.
Yeah.
It's so well done. And like
now they need, like for that accessory pack, they need a little like some sort of like flame
pillow?
Producer, you know what I mean? Like a little what I mean? Like a sci-fi looking oil lantern or something like that. Yeah. That'd be cool.
No, this is so cool, man. I love this wave, but I think that was a really fun moment.
Yeah. $299 for the all-in, which is again like an incredible price. I think. Again, the prices of these things just don't go up as of yet, and the quality and the amount of stuff that you seem to get with each one of these figures keeps going up. Hands and accessories and things like that.
There was a conversation we had the night before with the Q&A with Darius, where I think it was Big Dub that asked the really super technical question about like the way people are spending now and like like the money side of it, like the logistics of it. And they answered it really well by saying, we know what the fans want and we consider that always. So for them to release this wave, it feels like a full wave. It feels fleshed out, but at the price of $299, I'm sure there's more figures that they could have put into this. They could have made a $500 wave.
For sure.
But chose the $300 route where we're all happy about it.
That's a conscious decision for sure. You know what I mean? They see what's going on. They're not, they're not blind, obviously. And they know that, people are I don't even think I think it's a little blip in it. But there's so many things vying for your money now, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of the bigger IPs are starting to, due to their lead-ins, which are usually the movies, even if you're into the comic books in terms of Marvel Legend, starting to wane a little bit, and people are wanting more different things. But that just makes it so that other people are trying to come out with new third-party figures, including overseas manufacturers, unlicensed manufacturers, or whatever. But they see it, so that's their competition at this point. And
it's an excellent price.
Yeah. And didn't Eric say, or not? Maybe I think it was Jeremy that we're supposed to, or hopefully getting Oxkrewe 1 beginning of next year, and that this won't be as long a wait. I mean, there's some new parts in there, obviously, but there's not a ton of new parts, so it should be a little bit of a shorter wait for book 2.
Right. I don't know if he mentioned when, but if I had a guess, and this is no inside knowledge. Yeah, I would say Q3 maybe of 2025.
At least by
like that. Yeah.
at least by Legions Con 25.
Yeah, I would say so. Just because again, they get a little bit of a jump on these things. All right, let me bring this back in here, and we'll draw this thing. Because I know people, it's getting late, and people want to. Hopefully, don't want to leave, but like we still got a little bit more to talk about. After this, I am going to be on the. Geez, sorry guys, hang on a second. I'm tired. It's a new channel to me, but some of my favorite people are on here. So I'm looking forward to talking to them.
Is it the Nexus?
The Collection Nexus, thank you. The Collection Nexus with Jesse, Jurassic Jesse, who is in the chat right now.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about. We'll talk about Legions, but we're going to talk about like they're making me pick some of my favorite figure. Probably from the past, like way past, like something that meant something to me when I was young, and some other things, some things that I have on order and stuff. So it's going to be it's always a good conversation. It's a good show, man. I honestly didn't know they were doing it until a few weeks ago, but it's fantastic, man. It's really, really good.
I just looked them up. They have, I think everybody in the chat could go follow them. It's not going to be intrusive.
No, absolutely.
Sweet.
The Collection
Nexus. Add that to the rotation.
The Collection Nexus, it'll come up easily. There's no real competing thing, so you'll find them easily. And I think they have like I don't know, like a couple 10, 20 or 15, 20 videos out already, I think.
Yeah. Every time I look at a profile, if it's somebody that has like 100 stories and 100 reels and like 400 videos, I'm like, this is just going to bog down my regular algorithm.
Yeah.
But anytime there's a small channel, I can't wait to see new stuff.
Yeah, because you generally just get the new stuff that comes out. Here, let me share this real quick. The Collection Nexus.
Yeah.
They have Deep Lake Makes, Pancheesy. I was watching that. Fabster from ACBA.
Wow.
They were there for the IshCon.
They were there for...
Oh, that was Kent Pool. Sorry, this is just coming up as other things, but it's a good channel, man. They got a lot. They talk to a lot of people. Artman Customs, Art with Toys, Rick from the aforementioned Unparalleled Universe, Tuesday Crew. So yeah,
I love hangout YouTube stuff. It's like
that's
what attracted me to like Dork Lair originally. It was like I used to listen to the podcast when it was just the three, and they would just have a review at the end of the episode and just kind of bullshit about toys the whole time.
Yeah. The Collecting Brothers, who also put out a video today. It's in my watch later list, guys. It's been a hell of a day. So I haven't been able to watch it yet. I wanted to try and catch it live at 11, but I was in the air and there was no Wi-Fi. So, the Collecting Brothers have a great channel too. So they just did a rundown of Cosmic too, and they always have a cool, unique view on stuff too.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, let's draw this baby and we'll wrap this up. Meatless Men, your last chance. We got 76 people in here entered. Again, free shipping within the continental U.S. If you're outside the continental U.S., I will ship it to you. You just may have to help me with the shipping a little bit. And exactly, I know it is true.
It really is.
I'd actually rather do that than go out sometimes.
Right.
Or take a
fly across the country or watch YouTube. That's it.
Exactly. All right. This is it. This is a drawing for Skeleton, which I have somewhere. So the new Skeleton Builder 2. Incredible figure. You're going to love it if you don't have one. All right, let's go. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Don't be Curtis. Don't be Curtis. Don't be Curtis. Sorry. Brian Trutman. Nice. I hope Brian's still here. Is Brian still here?
I don't know, but that's a new name.
You don't have to be here, but I'll have to reach out to him.
You don't have to be present.
Colonel Trutman.
Colonel Trutman. Brian, if you're still here, I'll put this up. I guess we'll have to put this up on the Cabal tomorrow to make sure that Brian knows he won if he's not here.
Cool. Congrats, Brian.
Oh, he's here. Excellent.
There he
All
is.
right, Brian. Hit me up on IG or Facebook tomorrow and let me know your address and all that stuff, and I will get this out to you right away. And I know I owe a couple people some stuff. It's in boxes up on my table. I'm going to get to it tomorrow, and we'll get everything out. Then that'll be done. Joe says, feels like a made-up mythos name with all those consonants. I was right. Yeah, really. 2 T's is, and 2 T's and 2 N's.
Two
Man.
N's.
That really
Yeah.
is, yeah. Yeah.
It's a,
Did Eric Treadaway name
Treadaway
you?
special. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric Treadaway.
I want to do one more thing. I want to talk about where was I? Shoot, I lost it.
Poster?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
And I was going to give a shout out to Retro Rags too.
yes, well, I'll look at the
T-shirts.
T-shirts as well. But this is our buddy Tom Whalen, Strong Stuff, been on the show. Got to get him back on. I saw him at SDCC. He was signing stuff.
Oh, cool.
The whole Hasbro booth was wrapped with his work in like sort of a dimensionalized pieces. It was really cool.
I saw when they were taking it down, he was going around signing all those different pieces and panels.
I wonder who got those pieces. Man, it's probably
That's pretty cool.
Hasbro employees, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a great companion piece to the original one. I don't think they have the original one up here, but I saw them both side by side. They had a few left. The remaining, like the end of what they had of the first print, which may go up. I don't know how many they have, but they were selling them at IshCon, so you could buy the set, and they look really good.
They are both available right now.
They're going to be
the
okay.
site.
They're both available up there. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So they only have a few of those first ones. So if you really want to get the set, get up there and get them now. It's just, he's a super talented dude. He's just awesome. And there's your little train. That's very much like the silhouette of what it looks like.
I didn't notice that at the show. That's really cool. That's what they're riding on looks like.
Yeah. I don't know if I can zoom in on this, but yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, that's the lead car, which I told Eric, I'm like, I think if you made the lead car and then you had some like extra little like cage pieces or something that you could swap out to make it look a little different and sort of, put accoutrements, to your own liking or something, I think it'd be really cool. Again, you got to let them know if you want something like that. I know a lot of people were talking about it during the show, and I think it could be something that they might want to do, but cost pending, whatever. But I love this poster, man. This is fantastic. It's just so
I
cool.
love the Thraxians, like you got
right here,
the 1 and then the 3 behind.
Yep, looks great.
That's a cool design.
And yes, Retro Rag. So the Oxkrewe, Cosmic Legions Oxkrewe shirts were at PowerCon last year in sort of a crimson-y color, which is cool. But I actually prefer these colors a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked them to do some sort of like some the Harrow Roads, the dirt-colored, out there on the highways of where are they? Thraxian. And these look great. I really like these too. These are cool.
Yeah, this is a cool wave, man.
Yeah.
That
Available now at retrorags.com. And I think with that, we could wrap it up, right? I mean, anybody else got anything else that they want to add or discuss or plug? Bill, you coming up Thursday on your show this week?
Yeah, we'll be back as well after a little hiatus on my traveling and vacations and whatnot. So I think we're going to have Brutal Realm on.
Oh,
David,
sweet.
you're
that's
still going to possibly come on, right?
Yeah, I'll swing by. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And,
Always
because
have
we got a
Thursdays.
lot of like SDCC stuff to talk about, and just like a lot of just news dropped that we haven't talked about yet. So
yeah, for sure. Whoa, one last one from Thomas. Got to see Thomas yesterday. It was so good to see him. Fantastic week. I'm glad to see everybody's home safely finally. We missed you, Nate and Bill. Absolutely. Congrats again, David. Zone A for life. There you go. Another fellow Zone A'er.
That's super special. like the Zone A thing is ours now.
Yep.
And hanging out with Thomas and Sam this weekend was.
Oh, what happened to Nate?
I don't know. Hanging out with Thomas and Sam this weekend was so cool. I mean, I live 2 hours away from them, but to be able to hang out with them.
2 hours is still like a long way. Like it's like you got to get together, and it's like, oh, hey, here's a reason to get together, and we all go to another state, and hang out.
But as far as I go, I just thank you for having me. I absolutely love watching the show, and just being a part of it is that much cooler.
Man. Thanks, man. Anytime you want to come back, man, you're awesome. We're probably going to be talking about you for Legions Con, so I'm sure we'll have you back on talking about some stuff that you're going to have for that.
Yeah, people are going to be fucking sick of me by October.
I don't think that's possible, man. I really don't think that's possible.
I don't know. I'm pretty annoying.
Yeah, they watch me every week, or every other week anyway. Josh Brown, sweet. Please consider backing Brutal Realm. Great pieces. They do. I think it's gonna be really good. Yeah, and if again with all the Kickstarters, just back it. You know what I mean? Like back it now so they can get to those points. You know, if you decide to go down a little bit towards the end, you know, once they get certain momentum, they get Big Bad Toy Store buying some stuff up and helps them get to that breaking point. So definitely back them now.
And it kind of has that Masters of the Universe
totally
origin style. I can't wait. Like I hope that funds, because I want those toys.
I just love the bodies are so like, you know, when you look at, like, I just got King Conan, and you know, we got the Frazetta Girl stuff, and those are some beefy boys, as the enablers say. But damn, these things are huge, man. These are just like over the top without being that classic Masters of the Universe weird looking.
Yeah,
they still look real.
They don't look silly. Like that's the thing, is like to try and take something seriously. It's a lot like Legion stuff, where it's like you give them a barbarian builder and nobody thinks that looks like an over muscular, you know, man. It's just like, wow, this is incredible. But that the Brutal Realm stuff looks so good. It looks like a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I think they've really got a good plan. And you know, I want to see some more story from them and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be great. There he is.
My computer just decided to do an update.
There he is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What the fuck? Anyways,
I thought you were on a Mac.
I am on a Mac, and it just
Macs
decided
don't just
to
do that.
I no idea, dude. Yeah.
All right. Another $4.99 super chat. Thank you guys very much for all the super chats. By the way, I really appreciate it. Rob Zamora, can we give a shout out to Curtis for winning a golden ticket? Okay. Yeah, I literally just saw that picture as we were going live just before, and I told Nate, I'm like, I think Curtis got one of those damn golden tickets that he was talking about. He thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and he got one.
That's awesome.
He pulled it live. He pulled it live.
He pulled it. Oh my God, I didn't see that. That's awesome. I didn't even know he got one.
He opened two. I guess it was a 1 in 8 chance. He opened two, and he got one.
That's fantastic. Congrats, man. That's great.
Congrats to Curtis.
So when do you go to the chocolate factory?
It's the tickets as an invite. Is it an invite to the store, like in
San
Francisco? Like, it has like an invite
That's
for
cool.
October 1st. Like, show up maybe.
Oh,
at
no
the
shit.
store. I don't.
Curtis,
he doesn't live anywhere near there,
that golden ticket, or Camellia might swipe that.
Yeah, right.
Inside D&D joke there.
Mm-hmm.
I won the shooting the shelf. Just shelled it last night.
I saw that. I was watching the repeat. That's cool.
Nice.
What'd you get? You got the Tusk heavy gunner?
Yeah, another heavy gunner. Which I find I kind of felt like bad, like because I already have one, but
yeah, but you only have one. Like if you had three, I would say throw it back. You only got one. You gotta have two. You gotta have three, really.
Yeah, it's enough.
And shameless shout out for Emil for being an all-around badass. Y'all know why. Oh yeah, definitely, man. That thing, I knew exactly what that was when I saw it, and I was just like, well, I saw it. I'm like, I know that's
Court of the Dead, or
Court of the Dead, because I have that figure, the 6-scale figure,
Keel, or something like that.
Keel,
or
first. Kier,
I have the boss fight version of that.
Anyway, Rob knows because he collects them, but I'm like, is that just coincidental? And then I started looking at it, the blue skin and the blood on the arms and stuff. I'm like, nah, Dan, that's a tribute, man. And then I read it, and then I realized.
Okay?
No.
Okay?
All right. Yeah.
That's the end of the show. It's all good.
All right.
One more from 2 more. Oh, geez, man, they're still coming. Jurassic Jesse, $5. Jesse, fun show, guys. I can't wait to talk to Trevor in 1 hour with the Collection Nexus. Stop by and say hi. Yeah, I wish it was right after this, because I think there's a thing you can do now, although I don't know if you can do it in StreamYard, but you can. I think you can do it in YouTube, is do what they do on Twitch, and like you push everybody over to another show, and everybody can follow, and it's a big thing. I don't know what it's called. But
Oh, that'd be cool.
Drop the link, right? Let me drop the link in.
oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, stop by and say hi. Yeah, and Bill and Nate are next. Cool. Another $5 from Joe Gonzalez. Well, if everyone else is doing it, do a plug for Legions Quest. Yeah, a Legions Quest is fun, man. So we kind of screwed up the last episode in that we didn't record it, or we paused it and thought we recorded it, but we didn't. But we did a recap, and it was a battle. It was good. It was a good one, and there's some things happened, which we'll probably talk about in the next episode, in a funny way. But yeah, it's getting good, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, it's not Critical Role by any stretch of the imagination in terms of professionalism. Joe does a great job.
Joe's amazing.
We're a little, some of us are doing Curtis is doing very good, I gotta say. I guess, Jesse's a seasoned D&D player. You and I are new. Curtis is doing really well for a new player, man. He's getting into character and having fun with it, and it's fun, man. We're having a good time, so check that out. And that is on the Off-World channel. Yep. Thank you. And Thomas is loving Legions Quest. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Cool.
All right, I think that's it for plugs. That's it for super chats, I think. And David, again, thank you, man, for coming on. I just hit him up yesterday when this was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't even know.
Who knows? I don't know what day it is yet.
I don't either. I think it's Monday.
It's been a bad travel weekend.
Yeah, it has. But we're home. We're all safe and sound, and you have a tribute figure, and that is awesome. So congratulations to you. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, congrats.
Bill Thursday. Nate just did dude, I gotta say, that picture you did with Novi and Lean in the bar was freaking cool as hell.
Oh, thank you.
I hate that you did it, because I'm like, damn it, that's a good idea to do. I'm still gonna do it, so on one of these days. But I love the idea of like a space bar for these guys too. So it was really cool. Good shot.
Thank you.
All right, we will be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll see you then. And pretty soon our road to Legions Con will have to start, because we're only 96 days away. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chats, and congrats to our winner of the skeleton. Hit me up, and we'll get that out to you. All right. Take care. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Cheers.